Greeting to you, Sabrina. Where are you from? Please let me know. If you have any question, please let me know. How are you all? Are you happy? Are you well? Are you safe? Are you mindful? Let me know what's the sound like. Is it okay? The visual and the audio, everything okay? Nabu Blon Namo Guru. Thank you. Kenneth Hunt. Good evening, Ajahn. How are you, Ken? And if you have any questions, just send them in. I'll be here for about 1 hour. I'm Ben Moretti. Good morning, Pante. Hope you are well from South Australia. Thank you. I'm okay. And how are you? From Sabrina Sage, Canada. Thank you, dear Ajahn. I am okay, but anxiety is not going up the roof. It's now going up the roof. Use mindfulness. Stop your thinking. Recite a Buddha mantra. You can calm your mind down easily. And just accept Anicca Dukkha Anatta. That's the nature of life. Everything comes and goes. You cannot stop them. So you just have to flow with them, go along with them. From Kenneth Hunt, video and sound are very clear. Thank you. From Dhamma Path, good morning, Ajahn. Nice to see you with Metta. Nice to see you too. Nice to hear from you. Darren Williams, Ajahn, what is Vitakka and Vichara? Vitakka and Vichara are discursive thinking. Vitok and Vijan in Thai. It's one of the two factors of the first jhana, I think. Vitakka and Vichara. Like when you're watching your breath, you have Vitakka and Vichara. Watching your breath is Vitakka. Vichara is knowing your breath come in and go out. Vitakka is to be aware of the breath. Vichara is to analyze the breath in and out. From Naomi Jonas, greetings from Toronto, Ajahn. I'm keeping the 8 precept for a few days, and I turn on my phone in case there was a new Dhamma talk from you. Thank you for spending time with us. You're welcome. Glad to hear from you again. Keep practicing. If you want any result, you have to do the practice. It doesn't come by itself. You have to practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Then the result will come. Question from Deborah Jonas. Question number 1, respectful greetings from Toronto. Thank you for asking Naomi how I am doing. Yes, I am doing well. I don't attend the Zoom meeting as I am usually busy working at that time, either teaching at school or am busy with my 3 sons. But I don't mind, as I like to take my time to think about the question I want to ask. Also, I feel shy to appear in public, so I really appreciate that you answer my questions that I send in. I have another question. When people aren't nice, how should I think of myself? Should I look at myself like the earth and let people do or say whatever they want to me? Yes, if you can do that, because what they see is your body, and your body is made up of the 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and wind. So you can think of yourself as earth. The lowest thing in life is earth, and anybody can just step on it. Don't bother. Don't expect things from people. People say nice things to you if they want to, and they can say bad things to you if they want to. And sometimes it's not true either. So, but if you want to evaluate yourself, then you should evaluate it, and based on the Dhamma. Whether you are good or not depends on whether you can keep the precept or not. So if you can keep the precept and you have the 4 Brahma Viharas, then I think you are doing well. You're doing okay. Don't worry about what other people say. Treat them as like the weather. They can be nice and they can be bad to you, and you cannot change them. Should I look at myself like the earth and let people do or say whatever they want to me? Yes. Should I treat myself like the lowest of the low, like an old rag, and not worry what others say to me? Yes. Is this the way to get rid of my sense of self-importance and ego? Yes. Think of yourself as a servant, as a beggar, so that anything anybody say or treat you, do to you, will not bother you, because they don't expect anything from them. Question number 2 from Deborah Jonas. In one of Ajahn Mahaprabhu's talks, he said that the Buddha practiced with so much effort and determination that he passed out several times, and so did Ajahn Mahaprabhu when he was practicing seriously. Is passing out from enduring so much pain in sitting meditation, or is it from walking so long and with exhaustion? When is the correct time to strive to the point of passing out? I guess it's from exhaustion from your practice. Sometimes you are so anxious to achieve, so you put in so much effort that you go over the limit. When is the correct time to strive to the point of passing out? When you are ready for it. When you feel you want to devote your whole life for the practice. Then you might strive to the point of passing out. From Sepru Chai, good morning Ajahn, Namaskara to Ajahn. Good morning to you. From Ben Moretti, I have 2 questions, if that is okay. Fine. The first is that I want to give up drinking alcohol and keep the 5 precepts fully. Do you have any suggestion? I recommend it. I support it. I encourage it. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself. It's a starting point for, for developing your mind. With alcohol, it can be an obstruction because when you drink, you can be you will have no mindfulness, not enough mindfulness to practice meditation. So yes, please keep the 5 precepts all the time if it's possible. Then once you can do that, then you might want to keep the 8 precepts on some days, some day when you're not working. The precept will support your practice of meditation and vipassana. From Satyaku, greetings Ajahn, paying Ajahn respect. Wishing Ajahn good health and good well-being. Thank you very much. Question from Suji, Indonesia. I have been practicing meditation for ages, but I never see any improvement. During meditation, I always move around by scratching due to itchiness and repositioning my posture many times. Or sometimes I feel congested in my lung. What should I do? You should stop doing these things when you meditate. You should forget about the body once you start meditating. Because if you respond to your body issues, then you are not meditating. So you will not get any result. In order to get result, you have to focus on your meditation object only and disregard everything else that might come and bother you. Just keep reciting a mantra if you use a mantra. If you watch your breath, just keep focusing on watching your breath. Don't pay attention to your body. Don't reposition your body. Don't scratch or do anything, because then your mind cannot become still. In order to become still, you have to leave the body alone and focus on the meditation object. Second question from Ben Moretti is that a friend has terrible anxiety, shakes and so on. Do you have any suggestions for meditation which might help them? They are not Buddhists and do not meditate. Well, if they can recite a mantra, keep reciting a mantra, after a while their mind will become calmer and the shakes and anxiety will disappear. This is the method of mindfulness. And the method of wisdom is to study the nature of life, that everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. And you just have to learn to accept the truth of life. Then the anxiety will disappear. Question from Lauren Irick, Oregon, USA. I have met people with symptoms similar to mine, such as the feeling of in a state of bliss for a long time, euphoria, feeling of shaky. It felt like I was trapped in a body sitting behind my eyes. I would wake up in the middle of the night with a gasp, and the thought of what am I? Why I am here? Those other people I have met said that they have similar symptoms with mine, and they do break breath work and meditation only and have never done psychedelics. Are those symptoms described normal? Yes, if your mind becomes calm, then you can experience something like this. And if you ask yourself, what are you? What am I? Why I am here? Then the Buddha has the answer. You are the mind, the spiritual being that is attached to your body. That's all. And why are you here? Because of your cravings. You have sensual desire. You have cravings for sensual objects. You have cravings for being, and you have cravings for not being. These are the cause of your birth, a human birth. So this is what you should know about yourself. This is the truth. You are not the body, you are the mind that is connected to the body. And after the body dies, your mind continues on and reconnect with a new body again and again and again. From J. Chudasama, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Darren Williams, many people say that a superpower is extremely dangerous and hence should not be practiced. Have you found this to be true? Yes, it's dangerous for the defilement because it can kill your defilements, kill your sexual desire. So if you cherish your sexual desire, then you shouldn't do it. But if you want to get rid of your sexual desire, then you should do a super contemplation. But before you can do this, you should have a clear and calm mind, meaning you should have samadhi first. You should practice meditation first to calm your mind, to become neutral. Then you can then contemplate. Later, when you come out of meditation, you can contemplate on a super. This way your mind will not react adversely to the point where sometimes you feel hateful toward your body or other people's body. You just want to study the true nature of the body. That is not pretty all the time. There are parts of the body that is not good looking. When you see the disgusting parts of the body, then you can stop your sexual desire. From Sami Biachi. Hi, how are you, Sami? Ajahn, now Thailand has allowed tourists to come to Thailand. Can I come and stay with you and practice? Normally, we accept people on a temporary basis first when they first come. They can stay for 2 weeks and they can extend it further if no issues arises. So yes, you can come if you can get into Thailand. You can contact my assistant at assistant.ajahn@gmail.com and they will let you know all the details about staying with us. Question from Narayana S. India. Question number 1. Although I see and totally accept that everything as impermanent, non-self and suffering, but I still have delusion, lust and anger invade my mind when I'm not mindful. How to remove underlying tendency for anger or lust so that the anger and lust will no longer arise regardless of whether I'm mindful or not mindful. Now you have to be mindful. Without mindfulness, you will not be able to control your anger, your lust, your delusion. First, you need to develop continuous mindfulness. And then you have to practice samadhi to get into ubekkha, in which your mind can become neutral. Once you can do that, then you can apply the wisdom of the Buddha, that he discovered that life is impermanent, no self and suffering. Then you can then control all your lust and anger all the time. You need to have first mindfulness, continuous mindfulness. Then you have to have samadhi, ubekkha. Then after that, you will have to keep contemplating until it becomes fully embedded in your mind that life is suffering, life is impermanent, life is anatta. Then you will then let go of your attachment to everything. Let go of your attachment to other people. Then you will not be angry when you don't get what you want. From Sean Kerr, greeting from Seattle, Ajahn. It's good to see you and hear you. Thank you. It's good to get your message also. Hope you are well. From Ben Moretti, thank you, Ajahn. May you be well and happy. You're welcome. From Dhamma Path, Ajahn, I am from the US. How do we maintain our practice when our family is visiting us and we don't get much time to do a sitting meditation for long hours? You just can't. You just have to entertain your friend when they come to visit you. If you want to meditate, then you should ask them not to come to visit you. So if they come to visit you, then you have to use metta. You have to be kind and friendly to them. And you have to forego your meditation for a while until they leave you. Then you can then come back and do more meditation. Because you still are involved with people. And you have to treat them nicely. So when they come, then you have to sacrifice your meditation practice and keep them happy. But after they left, then you can come back and do your meditation again. Question number 2 from Narayanan is India. Why only a small number of people attain enlightenment? Although everyone can see the impermanence of life, and everyone has seen death in his or her own circle, why most people don't get enlightened? Because they don't practice. Just knowing is not enough. Knowing the truth is not enough. Because the mind is still stubborn. It can still resist the truth. So you have to practice meditation to subdue the mind and constantly remind the truth of life as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you can become enlightened that way. Pabati Rai. Good morning, Ajahn. Paying my respect from New Zealand. Thank you. I am grateful for making your presence available to us. Satu, satu. You are welcome. If you have any questions, just send them in. From Satyaku, dear Ajahn, is the mind in the spiritual realm and only connected to our body via vijnana? That's right. The mind never exists in the body, never exists in this physical world. It's in the spiritual world. It connects to the body through the 5 vijnana. Is the spiritual realm of the mind differ from the 31 planes realm of existence? No, they are the same, except for the physical realm. Once your body dies, then you will be either in the Deva realm or in the Brahma realm or in the lower realm of existence without the body. It's only when you have the body that you become aware of the physical realm of existence also, the realm of the 4 elements, the realm of the body. Does it mean when one experiences only mind and not body in deep absorption, we are at that moment only existing in the spiritual realm? That's right. Also, when you go to sleep, when you dream, you are in the spiritual realm, not in the physical realm anymore. Because when you sleep, the body stops transmitting you any information. So you rely on the information that you have in your mind itself to create dreams. So without the body, the mind will then rely on the four namakhandas to produce experiences, good and bad, depending on the good and bad karma that you have performed. If you have bad karma, you have bad dreams, then you will be existing in the lower unpleasant realm of existence. If you have good karma, you have good dreams, you'll be in the higher realm of existence, happy realm of existence. But you never die with the body. The body is just your servant that you use to get you around the physical world. Question from Joshua, Indonesia. I love my partner very much, but the person is very manipulative and continues to hurt me and gives me fake love. I feel hurt and miserable. How to overcome this with meditation? If you can meditate, you'll find peace and happiness from meditation. Then you can then let go of your love for your partner, because by loving your partner it's causing you suffering. So after you have developed meditation and find peace and happiness from meditation, then you can give up everything that hurts you. From Tavisa FK, Satu, Satu, Satu. From Sheila Kerwan, Satu, Satu. Question from Kathy Gerard, Bangkok. Regarding the law of dependent origination, could Ajahn please explain the meaning of power and jati, as well as their differences? Power is becoming. Jati is birth. First, you have to have becoming. You want to become a human again. When your body dies, then you want to access the new body before you can access. Then once you have power, the desire to be reborn, then you will have rebirth. Jati is birth. See, we keep repeating our experiences. Once we no longer have the experience, we create a new power, our desire to have the same experience that we used to have. So when the body dies, then we want to have these experiences again. So we have power. So we go look for a new body, which is jati. From Gleb Allwich. Hello Ajahn, how are you? Are you well? Yes, thank you. I'm okay. Question from Kiran Raj, Bangalore. When I go back home after Vipassana course, I am unable to maintain the same level of purified state of mind, and eventually give in to different sensual pleasure. Is this the reason why people take up robes, so they can maintain the same level of purity? Yes. You need to keep maintaining your practice, your mindfulness and wisdom, in order to maintain your level of purity. If you don't practice, then your level of purity will disappear eventually. What are the factors that people should keep in mind if they choose to live like Buddha in the marketplace, or as they say, live like a lotus in the world. Is this even possible? Only when you become enlightened, then you can do this. When you're not enlightened, you will be overwhelmed by your defilements when you come into contact with the sensual objects. So you need to become enlightened first. Then you can live like a lotus, live like a Buddha in the marketplace, not being affected by what you see or hear, feel or touch. So you need to seclude yourself first and develop enlightenment. Once you become enlightened, then you can then rise above everything in this world. You will not be affected by whatever you come into contact with. From Sang Lilian, thank you. From Czech Ling Tan, greeting from Vancouver, Tanajan. So happy to see you. What a beautiful gift you are giving us this Sunday afternoon. Thank you so much, Tanajan. You're welcome. I guess you are keeping the 8 precepts today and practice meditation because it's your day off. From Dylan Always, Satu Satu Pante. When we concentrate on an activity we are doing right now, isn't our mind still switch between what we will be doing in the next few seconds or minutes and what we just did in the past few seconds or minutes? So in that perspective, how do you define this moment or now? Don't worry about this definition. If you keep on concentrating on what you do, that's good enough. Yes, you might have to think about what happens and what will happen, but you still stay within the range of the present. You don't go think about yesterday or tomorrow. So that's okay. But the best thing mindfulness is to not to think at all. So you have to stop moving, doing things, and watch your breath or recite a mantra. Then you can stop all your thought that way. But before you can do that, if you have to work, you have to do things, then you just have to do this type of mindfulness first to prepare you for the sitting meditation. Because if you don't keep developing mindfulness before you come and meditate, you will not be able to meditate successfully. From Darren Williams, Ajahn, do you ever sit in just do nothing meditation where you don't do any samatha or vipassana, just meditation without an object? Is that helpful in developing calm? In order to do this, you have to have strong mindfulness to stop your mind from thinking. If you don't have strong enough mindfulness, you cannot stop your mind from thinking and desiring. So you need something to anchor your mind with, like a meditation object, contemplation on wisdom, or vipassana. Once you have strong mindfulness and vipassana, then you can then just keep your mind empty and not think and just be aware. If you cannot do this, then you need to meditate. You need to develop mindfulness with a mantra or some form of object to keep your mind still. From Londinella Che Vola, is there a way to be able to forgive those who have hurt you? Yes, just forgive. Just look at it that it's better to forgive than to get angry with them, because anger hurt you, not hurt them. Once you can forgive them, then your anger will disappear and your mind will become peaceful and happy. There are 2 ways of doing this. When you're angry at someone, you can recite a mantra. Don't think about that person. If you keep reciting a mantra, eventually you'll forget that person, and then you'll forget, and then your anger will disappear. Secondly, use wisdom. To forgive is better because when you're angry, you are hurting yourself. When you forgive, then you stop your anger. Then you benefit from this forgiveness, not the other person. You are the one who will benefit from forgiving. Because when you don't forget, you become angry. And then you're not happy. When you forgive, then you stop your anger, then you become happy. Question from Melissa Pinang. I meditate daily for about 45 minutes and listen to Dhamma talks by a few spiritual teachers. I am able to sit still and bring my awareness to my breath. Will I be able to go forward with my practice if I practice alone without any teacher? Yes, when you practice, you don't need a teacher. It's only when you need guidance that then you will have to go seek guidance from a teacher. But if you know what to do, then you don't need to have a teacher. But eventually you will come into some point where you will need more guidance. Then you can go seek guidance from a teacher. But when you practice, you not usually practice alone. Only go to your teacher when you have issues or questions, like right now. From Gleb Ulrich, dear Ajahn, let's say an average person has aversion to being poor, so they strive for being rich. Same for aversion to being nobody and striving for fame. Is there the same dynamic for an Arya? No, because an Arya, he doesn't need fame and richness to make him happy. He can become happy from his enlightenment. He has peace of mind and contentment. So he doesn't need to do anything, to strive for anything in this world. So you have to practice meditation and vipassana, and that will make your mind happy and content. Once you have this, then you don't need to do anything. You don't have to strive for being rich or strive for fame or anything. You don't even have to strive to keep your body alive. You can be happy when the body passes away or gets sick. It doesn't bother you if your mind is peaceful, calm, and happy. From Suchart, dear Ajahn, the Buddha spoke about stream entry as the change of lineage. Does it mean that as long as the five khandhas are still seen as self, Sakaya Ditti, and there is still attachment to the personality, then the lineage where we come from are our biological parents, grandparents, etc. However, once the three fetters have been let go and realized, then the lineage changes from the biological lineage to the lineage of the Dhamma, because we have realized that Dhamma is the source of reality, and we are the origin of Dhamma itself. Is this what is meant that the Sotapanna has a change of lineage? Thank you, Ajahn. No, a Sotapanna is still the same like before he became a Sotapanna, but his understanding of life is better. Now he understands that he himself is not the body. He himself is a spiritual being, the mind, the knowing element. So this is what he learns from practicing. Once he sees that the five khandha is anatta, there is no self, then he sees that the mind is the one who knows. Is the self, not the body, not the nama khandhas. And even this understanding we have to eventually be get rid of, because there is no self even in the knowing element. But he first will then take the knowing element as himself, rather than the five khandhas. And as he keep on practicing, he'll find that by by attaching a self to the knowing element can still cause suffering. So he eventually will then have to stop this this understanding that truly there is no self, even in the mind itself. Question from J.H. Neo, Singapore. Question number 1. Is it true that we don't need to worry about the endless worldly issues because everything in one's life has been written in the heavenly book, that at the time of the day, month, year when a person is alive, he will automatically be at that particular place doing particular thing? No, everything is not predetermined. Everything is being caused by causes or conditions and thoughts. So you can control your action. You can guide your action. If you don't want to, for instance, be in a plane, you can stop getting on a plane. It's not predetermined. Everything is being decided by the mind. You decide what you want to do at the time, at a certain time. And if you decide you don't want to do it, then you don't do it. So nothing is predetermined in life. Everything is depending on your thought, on your desire, on your decision, what you want to do. From Gek Yen So, good morning, Ajahn. From reading from Penang. Thanks for giving teaching very early in the morning. You're welcome. Question number 2 from J.H. Neo of Singapore. How do I make merit or apologize for the insects or the lives that I have killed, such as when I go fishing? Well, you should stop fishing if you don't want to kill. You cannot apologize. You should stop killing, then you don't need to apologize. And if you want to make merit, then you can give money to charity, and then you can share this merit with the life that you have killed. From Sam Lilian. Good morning, Ajahn. I am from Penang. PG, I guess Penang. How do we know we have equanimity? It's like knowing when you're full. When you finish eating, you know you're full. Before eating, you know you're not full. It's the same way. When you meditate, when you're starting meditating, your mind is not full, not content, not having equanimity. Once you finish meditation successfully, then you feel equanimity, a sense of calm, peace, and happiness, and having no emotional reaction to anything. No love, hate, fear, or delusion, temporarily. It only lasts a while, then it will disappear. From Naomi Jonas, Dear Ajahn, this is my understanding. Satya, or doing what we say we will do, is part of the path and is very important. But the only exception is when we are ready to give up the promises we have made to stay in lay life in order to be able to meditate full time and attain enlightenment. Is this true? Well, it depends on what you have made, what kind of resolution you have made. If you want to have satya, then you have to keep doing what you have resolved to do. But you can change, and you can change based on wisdom, based on rationality. If you find that what you resolve to do is wrong, then you can change it. See, it's not bad to change your bad resolution, but it's bad to change your good resolution. That's all. That's the point of having satya. Once you have set up a good resolution, then you don't want to give up that good resolution. But if you have made a bad resolution out of ignorance, and once you realize that it's a bad resolution, then you can change it. You can give it up. because the point is not to hurt you. The point is to help yourself do the right thing. So if you made a resolution like, I will be drinking all my life, for instance, I will take alcohol for the rest of my life, but then eventually you discover that this is a bad thing to do, then you can change your resolution. It's okay to change based on rationality or wisdom. Change for the better, not change for the worse. When we give up the promises we made to stay in lay life, will this be a hindrance when trying to meditate full time? Not at all. If you know that living a lay life is not as good as living as a meditative life, then it will not be a hindrance at all. So don't worry. If you give up the bad resolution for the good resolution, then you're doing okay. From Lon Dinella Chevola, thank you very much, Ajahn. You're welcome. From Czech Ling Tan, dear Ajahn, the 10 fetters, they are actually defilement. Is that right, Ajahn? Yes, they are more defined, more definitive defilement. When we talk about defilement in general, we talk about greed, hatred, and delusion. But the 10 fetters, they are more defined. Some of them are delusional, like the Sakaya Titi, the seeing the body, the five khandha as a self. This is delusional. See? And the Kamaraka, sexual desire. This is the desire. So yes, they are all defilements, the 10 fetters. They are the cause of your suffering, your dukkha. From Meal on Meditation, good morning, Thanajan. Question from Dhamma Bhutto, Klong Sam, Thailand. I need your help to improve my meditation. Well, first you have to keep the precepts. Then you have to learn to develop mindfulness by reciting a mantra such as Bhutto Bhutto during your waking hours, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. And when you have time, sit down, close your eyes, and meditate, reciting the mantra or watching your breath. Question from Flora Tan, Indonesia. When someone attains Sotapanna, does he have to be born as human beings to attain arahantship? If he hasn't developed higher than a Sotapanna when he dies, then he will return as a human being to continue on with his practice until he eventually become an arahant. And he won't do it more than 7 times, because by then he will be able to become an arahant. Satyaku sincerely thanking Ajahn for always answering our questions and provide responses which are clear, useful, and beneficial to us. You are welcome. From Megawati Lao, greetings Ajahn. Greetings to you. From Londinella Chevola, how do you establish mindfulness by doing daily activities? If you repeat Bhutto, you don't think, but you aren't even focused on what you do. Is that so, or am I wrong? Yes, you are wrong. You have to concentrate, watch what you do. And if your mind stray away from that, then you recite the Bhutto to bring it back to what you do. That's the point. So if you're concentrating on what you do, then you don't need to recite Bhutto. But as soon as you lose concentration, as soon as your mind stray away from what you do, then you need to bring it back with Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. And if you can keep focusing on what you do without going away, then you don't need to use Bhutto. From C. Tek Ang, Satu, Satu, Satu. Question from Matt Dusen, Denmark. I want to study and meditate, but it seems that my family members will be sad if I left to become a monk. Is it alright to become a monk even if my family becomes sad? Yes, it's like when you die. When you die, they become sad. You cannot stop them from becoming sad because they want you to be around near them all the time. But life is impermanent, so sooner or later we have to be separated. So it's okay to be separated for a good cause, like becoming a monk. Like the Buddha, he had to be separated from his family in order for him to become a Buddha. So if you want to become an Arahant, then you need to separate from your family. But then you can rejoin them later. You can still in contact with them, stay in contact with them, and see them from time to time. It's not permanent like that. Like death. If once you die, then you will not have no contact with them anymore. So this is something that we have to accept. And sadness arising from their own delusion. They desire to keep our connection connected all the time, which is not possible. From Gek Yen So Tanajan, all 7 times of reborn for Sotapanna will be human being or higher realms. That's right. I think this 7 times I think is referred to 7 human births. A Sotapanna will not take birth in the lower realms of existence, such as being an animal or being a hungry ghost or existing in hell. Well, looks like we ran out of questions. Nobody sent in any more questions. So I guess maybe it's time for me to close this meeting. Thank you. Here comes another question from Eric Chandra. I have breath anxiety, meaning I am almost aware of my breath all day long. I know this is actually a good thing, but sometimes fear and anxiety came in and my mind told myself that my breath will stop if I don't aware about it, and then but sometimes fear and anxiety came in and my mind told myself that my breath will stop if I don't aware about it, and then I became anxious and sometimes I felt that I'm going to be crazy. What should I do again? You don't have to be aware of the breath in order to keep yourself alive because your breath is automatic. Whether you are aware of your breath or not, it will keep breathing. So you don't have to worry. Mindfulness of breath is not to make sure that you are still breathing. Mindfulness of breath is to use to anchor your mind from thinking about other things. So if you're thinking about death or about anxiety, then you're not watching your breath. So you should come back and watch your breath if you want to stop your mind from thinking. So don't worry about your breath as far as breathing is concerned. It will keep breathing regardless of whether you are aware of it or not. From Lo Dinella Chebola, I have another question. If possible, yes, send them in. From Checkling 10, Dear Tanajan, before one becomes a Sotapanna, she sees that identifying with the body is causing him her suffering, and is able to let go of the body by Sila, Samadhi, Panya, and no longer be afraid to get old, get sick, and die. And after they become a Sotapanna, they will again realize that sexual desire is causing the mental suffering, and will again try to get rid of this by practicing Asubha. Is that correct understanding? That's right. You move from one, you take care of one suffering after the next. So first you get rid of your suffering due to your attachment to your body. And you then know that you have suffering out because of your sexual desire, and you want to get rid of that. Then you want to get rid of the suffering that you create inside your mind by your attachment to the mind itself, the mind and the mental states in the mind. So you'll start to see suffering like layer by layer. First you see the first layer as a sotapanna. Then you see the second layer and the third layer of suffering, and then you will seek looking for the cause of your suffering. Once you find it, then you use the cure, which is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you eventually will get rid of all your sufferings in your mind, created by your mind itself. From Ron Dinella Chevola, is it possible to establish mindfulness while studying subject other than Dhamma? Yes, but it's not the right type of mindfulness you want to establish. The right type of mindfulness is mindfulness without thinking. If you have to think, then you are developing only half mindfulness. You are mindful, you are concentrating, but you are still thinking. If you want to have full mindfulness, then you have to be mindful what you do, but not thinking about what you do. Like when you do chores, routine chores like taking a shower, brushing your teeth, or eating, then you can eat, then you don't need to think. Just keep watching what you do. And this is the right type of mindfulness. From Gleb Ulrich, thank you, Ajahn, for your answers. You are welcome. I hope they are clear enough to you. Sometimes I know it might not sound clear to you. So if you still don't understand, don't hesitate to re-ask your question again, because sometimes I might not explain it clear enough to you. It might be clear to me, but it might not be clear to you. From Ong Apprentice, thank you for the Dhamma teachings. You're welcome. Okay, we have about 2 more minutes left. So if you're typing question right now, you can continue on typing them. But if you're not, then I have to ask you to stop, because I will have to stop pretty soon. But we can do this again next time. From Usnisa Gautami, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. After practicing for a few years, it makes me see a lot of unsatisfactory things. And in some occasions, the strong negative experiences kept occurring during my meditation. In the end, I feel discouraged to sit and meditate, as I have to repeatedly dealing with those negative thoughts. Please kindly guide. That's because you don't have enough mindfulness. You allow your mind to think. So you have to control your thought by using a mantra. Keep reciting a mantra when you start to have thoughts, either positive or negative thoughts. You should stop them by reciting a mantra. Then your negative thoughts will not appear. Then it will not bother you. Then you can meditate and be happy. So mindfulness is the key to your success in meditation. You just have to keep being mindful, like reciting a mantra. Stop your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts go wild, go uncontrolled. Only allow your thoughts to think of things that you need to think about. If you don't need to think about anything, then you should stop it by reciting a mantra. Dylan Elvis, Satu Satu Bante. Could you explain what causes the mind to get separated from the body when someone is in deep meditation? Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the one that will disconnect the mind from the body. By concentrating on a mantra, you stop the mind from thinking. When you don't think, then you don't send your vijnana to connect to the body. So you're pulling the vijnana away from the body, the 5 vijnana. by reciting a mantra or by focusing on a meditation object to stop thinking. When you stop thinking, then the vijnana will withdraw from the body, the five vijnana. From Naomi Jonas, thank you, Ajahn. Is the promise to be a family person a bad promise that should be broken if you have the desire to meditate full time, assuming that nobody is dependent on you? That's right. Yeah, the promise to meditate is better than the promise to be a family person. But before that, when you know nothing better, then you have to keep the promise of being a family person. But once you have discovered the Dhamma and realize that the life of a family person is suffering, and the life of a meditation is free from suffering, then you can switch your promise. If you don't hurt anybody physically, but if they are hurt because of your decision, that's too bad. Like the Buddha, when he left the palace, people were hurt by his action, but not directly from him, but by their own desire, by their own attachment. From Rondinella Chevola, thank you very, very much. You're welcome. From Ven Kanda, respected Ajahn, do you think formal practice of metta is necessary, or will metta develop naturally through purifying the mind? Both. You need to do formal metta practice. How you do this is you do it when you meet people. When you meet people, you have to force yourself to be nice, to be kind, even though you don't feel like being nice and kind. When you see people, you smile at them, say hi, how are you, greetings to them. And if you have something that you can share it with them. You have to force this practice because your mind is not yet pure enough to have it automatically, naturally. But as you purify your mind and the less defilements you have in the mind, the more metta you will eventually have. And eventually, when there are no defilements left in your mind, then you will be 100% fully metta all the time without having to force it. How far can metta take one on the path? Will wisdom arise naturally as one emerges from metta jhana? Metta can take you to jhana, but you need wisdom to purify your mind. Wisdom doesn't arise naturally by itself. You have to use contemplation of the nature of life, of everything in life, as anicca, adukkha, anatta. From KB Leong, Sawadee Krap Ajahn. About 3 weeks ago, my beloved sister passed away, and she has been a Buddhist so many years. And I have brought her to Wat Yan to do Dhamma to Ajahn about 10 years ago. She had cancer and passed away 3 weeks ago, but she converted to Christian faith about 5 weeks ago before her death. I was told she had severe pain and said to her daughter she saw Jesus Christ. Could Ajahn share your opinion why such thing can happen to her? That's because she is not fully grounded in Buddhism. She is still not fully understood the benefit that she can get from Buddhism. That's all. So anything that comes up in her thought might dissuade her from Buddhism and go take something else. So this is up to her. No one can force her to become a Buddhist or become a Christian. She has to decide for herself what she wants to be. From Jack Ling Tan, seeing the suffering layer by layer and seeing the cure that is seeing anicca, dukkha, anatta. What a great teaching. Thank you so much, Tan Ajahn. You are the best. I know I can never thank you enough, Tan Ajahn, but I still would like to express to you my deep gratitude and appreciation. To express your appreciation is to practice and become enlightened. Let me know when you become enlightened, and I will be fully happy. Then I know that you have show your gratitude. The Buddha wants us to practice, to show our gratitude toward the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. From KB Leon, I wonder this can also happen to me, and I need to practice harder and strengthen my faith. Sadhu. Yes, you have to keep on practicing and studying the Dhamma in order to be strong with your faith. But you can never be fully strong until you become a Sotapanna. After you become a Sotapanna, you will always be a Buddhist. Regardless of how many lives you still have to take rebirth. Of KB Long, Sati, not Sadhu, sorry Ajahn. From Usnisa Gautami, thank you Ajahn. I will try again according to your guide. May you have a good and blissful day, Ajahn. Thank you. Dylan Elvis, thank you very much, Pante. Meal on meditation, another Q&A session full with precious wisdom to lighten our doubt. Thank you, Tanajan. All right, I think we have come to the end of this meeting. Thank you very much for your participation. I hope that you have learned something and benefit something from this discussion and apply it in your practice and advance in your practice. In the meantime, please continue on with your practice. Don't be discouraged. Anytime you are discouraged, just think of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, how they practice. They never give up. So you should not give up. All right? Stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you and goodbye.